10 good awful horror films with amazing killing scenes.
Resident Evil spawned 5 sequels, earning the franchise over $1 billion. However, accomplishing such a feat doesn't change the fact the movies suck. The original may be the best of the lot, but that's not saying much. Because of the choppy editing and surprisingly uncreative zombie designs, the film never replicates the terror one would experience from the source material. There are few filmmakers, if any, who've had as much influence on horror as Wes Craven. For decades, the beloved auteur has repeatedly reinvented the slasher genre, kicked off multiple lucrative franchises, and devised some of the coolest death sequences in cinema. But the best kill he concocted wasn't in Scream, or The Hills Have Eyes, or A Nightmare on Elm Street. Ironically, the most memorable execution occurred in one of Craven's weakest entries, Deadly Friend. Old is exactly what you'd expect from Shyamalan, a promising setup ultimately let down by Shyamalanisms. We got wacky characters, wacky character names like mid-sized sedan, an abundance of forced exposition, children discussing mortgages, and way too many references to the 1976 Western, The Missouri Breaks. Yes, Army of the Dead is all over the place. Yes, it has too many subplots with zero payoff. And yes, the camera is never in flippin' focus. But it's impossible not to commend Zack Snyder's zombie thriller, since it has some of the coolest dismemberments and decapitations we've ever seen. The opening sequence probably has more innovative deaths than any horror film over the last decade. Look, nobody assumed Cocaine Bear would be high art. It's about a drug-snorting bear who goes on a killing spree. Also, it's literally called Cocaine Bear. But because CGI is pretty expensive for a low-budget flick, our titular carnivore doesn't appear much. To compensate, this true story is filled with one-note characters and a myriad of subplots, which creates a lot of uneven pacing. Despite a surprisingly funny cast, none of our stars have a chance to show off their comedy chops. It's bizarre how the Texas Chainsaw Massacre spawned countless follow-ups, and yet, none of them managed to capture the spirit of the original. The 2003 remake came pretty close though. By the time the 9th installment was released, simply called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, our expectations were at rock bottom. Against all odds, this legacy sequel turned out worse than anyone could have imagined. What happened with The Happening? This sci-fi horror thriller was supposed to be a return to form for M. Night Shyamalan. Instead, this dumpster fire proved to be the nadir of Shyamalan's career, at least until The Last Airbender. The Happening is so profoundly goofy, you'll wonder how the formerly revered director was nominated for not 1, but 2 Oscars. Deep Rising is hampered by lousy performances, unfunny dialogue, and really dated special effects. If you thought the CGI'd sea monster looked bad in 1998, it's a lot worse by today's standards. Anaconda has all the tropes of a B-movie. Cheesy one-liners. Actors who are there just to collect their paycheck. An unconvincing CGI snake. An unconvincing animatronic snake. And of course, Jon Voight overacting like his life depends on it. Considering Piranha 3D is a remake of a Jaws ripoff, we didn't expect much. Still, it was a nice touch to open with Jaws actor Richard Dreyfuss being chomped up by the nasty critters. But the film is let down by abominable special effects. The CGI for the piranhas isn't just bad, it's incomplete. Seriously, the razor-toothed beasties from 1978's Piranha were more convincing.
If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel.